Well, hello there. Welcome back to Space Engineers and my creative world on Space Engineers 1. I've been wondering how to come back to Space Engineers for a little while. I've lost all my flow, my ability to make anything. So I thought I would go on a small little nostalgia trip before we quickly move on to something new. There is more content to be coming from Space Engineers in itself. From Space Engineers 1, there is a series I really want to do, but right now I want to go through and, just so you know, an FYI, I have updated my graphics card. It is a very, I think, a high-end spec graphics card, so hopefully it should be a lot better right now. But I don't know if in Space Engineers 1 I've hit that plateau where I can't build anything proper. So if I move back, this here will be one of the best ships I've ever done. I love this thing to pieces, the Boreas. I really do. My own custom built turrets on top and on the sides. I love this thing. I was trying to make a small fleet to complement the Behemoth over there, and landing utilities. As you can see, I have been able to successfully detach these. We would have to have a soft landing once we get down onto the ground, and I was trying to make this vehicle friendly in here. So we had outer hatches here. This is something I was working on, and then I just, for some reason, I just burnt out. All hell broke loose with everything else. And if Dark Cronus ever hears this message, contact me. If you don't do anything, just say hi. Moving on. If anybody doesn't know, that's the guy who I was playing SnowRunner with, and he's been my best friend for a long time. And things happened last year out of my control. So this is my kind of like my hangar graveyard that I had set up for memories of what I had from yesteryear, really. I was going to try and convert all my ships over that I'd done previously in previous years into the current block standard, and trying to do that I just burnt myself out. The Predator was another one of my ships that I converted to what it is now. It used to be using armor ramps as the side cowlings to the entire ship, but I could never get it looking right, so it kind of ended up looking like this. As I bring back as a slow fly-in through the cockpit. I mean, this was before all the extra additional consoles we really had that we have now. Alright, that is a script that shows the actual ship the way it is, but hey. I never really got around furnishing this festive. I turned my lights off, she's all blued up. But I enjoyed making these ships and I just ran out of steam. As you can see. It's kind of... What was that one? Oh, that was FSD, which I think stood for Friendship Drive. I think. Oh. Wonder why that grill is missing for. I don't know. Odd. See, I kind of upgraded the interior from the very first iteration. Single deck, crew complement of about 5, I think, 4 or 5. That was the way I wanted her. And this was an attempt to make a landing vehicle, a large grid landing vehicle. As you can see, it was going to go in the same theme as the Boreas, but it was going to have rotating landing gears, or I suppose hydrogen based with atmospheric thrusters underneath. Trying to build it was a nightmare. This was another people lander which I was trying to build, fully hydrogen based, and never really got past the preemptive stages. As you can see, I was trying to keep it in line with the Behemoth over here. Trying to make this ship was a nightmare. I loved it. I loved building this thing, but trying to build it in the way it's built now, it's kind of antiquated. I could never get the idea of the way it was going to be the minute I built her. And yes, all my ships are hers. As you can see, I did a little bit more touching up in here, make it in the reactor room, making this look a lot more industrial, I suppose is the best way I can put it. You got the rec room in here with food and supplies, you know, the kitchen, communal area. For basically a vessel that's transporting cargo light years, you need something like this on a long haul. This is why I built her for. Hell, she even had a fish tank. I was going to have something else up on the screens. I can't remember what I was going to go for. That was what I was going to go for in here, but I don't want this look around the vessel to be too long. So, a certain game just launched yesterday, which would be the 27th of January 2025. A specific game just launched. Now, we've been hearing the rumours, milling around for months. This is the communal toilets, you can close those, so as you can see, showers and toilets. There were different kind of bunks you could go into here, but as I was saying, there was there was rumours for so long that there was going to be a new game coming out. As we well know, it's now released, called Space Engineers 2. Now I pre-ordered that. I might come back and dabble in trying to make this ship look a lot more industrial. As you can see, I do like the new consoles they gave us a little while back, about 2 DLC ago. I don't know about that. I think that was meant to be going and clipping onto the screen there, but it looks like I kind of lost my mojo with building ships or something. But yeah, this was a beast to make, by the way. I loved it. My first attempt at building a large ship cargo vessel. Yeah, as I was saying, Space Engineers 2 has released and is now in alpha. I have got it, and that is what we're going to be going to in a few minutes time. But I just wanted to show you the problems I've been coming up against. This was a fighter I was trying to build, and as you can see, it was going to be angled on the side You remember the fighters from Babylon 5, the Raider fighters? It was going to be similar to that. I just could not get the corners looking the way I wanted them, so they went into kind of like a point. Every time I was doing it, I kept losing my mind. Every single time. I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. And as you can see, this corner right here was the best I can come up with. That's where I wanted it to go down like that, to that point just there. And then I could not just get it angled down in the way I wanted it to. So that was my one problem I had in building. This was another one. Trying to make rounded angle points into a point. Never could get that done. Never could get it proper. As it folded down, because I was going to try and make a version of the Thunderfighter from Buck Rogers. This was a beginning concept of a ship and never got finished. As you saw, this vessel got finished. I was quite proud about how this actually came out. Small courier vessel this is. Quick, dark, runs under cover of dark in space basically. This one was a gunship I built with armor blocks again. From the armor ramps mod, I was converting it over to standard. I mean, the front end looks okay, but you can see where I used a lot of armor ramps, and it's kind of trying to fill up the gaps to try and make this thing look okay. So I might tinker around with this every now and again, trying to build it back into what it should have been, but trying to convert that from a modded version into a vanilla version, it's not going well. So it's kind of like become a bit of a graveyard now. These are my original vessels that I built back in the day, including my favorite ever landing vehicle, which I made in the final series of my survival streams before everything went wrong with my computer. And I love this thing to bits, as you well know. I put a lot of heart into that, and to have this actually working with an actual working lift, as in this thing here. And I made this pretty much vanilla style as well. That's how it can be here. So you can see I was going for a bit of a theme with these vessels. It appears I'm missing a few blocks. Huh. Interesting. Unless this is the version that... No, I'm actually missing a few blocks. Wonder why they're missing. But as you well know, I made that all in survival. As I was saying, I kind of burnt out building ships and trying to make my fleet and everything, so it kind of got to a point. I'll give Space Engineers quite a while. Here was another prototype of a fighter I was making, which was going to use the 3 atmospheric thrusters, ion thrusters, and hydrogen thrusters as a booster. That was the whole point of this vehicle. You can see I was actually getting it to a certain point and then just went, that's taking too long for me to build and I can't be bothered. But then we start hearing the rumours of Space Engineers 2 coming out. I mean, she's actually quite fast, but if you can see where I got the idea as the Death Glider and the F-302 but my making of vehicles really is not that great. So Space Engineers 2 comes out. Well, we started hearing about it with their V-Rage 3 engine, and they say, oh, it's going to come out. So basically, I get to thinking, right, if I knock this on the head and wait until Space Engineers 2 comes out, then we move on to that. The problem is, they release Prototech and salvaging. So I think to myself, what can I do? What can I change? What can be the next dynamic I do? So whilst Space Engineers 2 is in alpha, we might pop into that. I might do a video here and there as we explore what we can make in creative. But we'll also be doing a series on survival. If my rig can now hold up the test of time. By the way, the graphics card is an RX 7800 XT AMD card. So if everything works fine, basically everything should be good to go. I might be able to get back to streaming soon. I've got to do a lot more testing, a lot more stress testing, just to see whether I fixed the main problem of the lockups or anything like that. If I can get through games without anything locking up for the next month, we will basically start working from there. If that's all right with you. That's my whole point of taking at least a month off, to wait until I got paid again. Then I was going to buy a graphics card, which I did, and hoping this will now fix the problem, because I think the graphics card was dying on me. The 5600 XT, yeah. I think I may have pushed that to the limit, because that was only an 8GB memory on it. This is a 16, so I can only put so much in here. If I ever get another computer, it's going to be a full build, fully built computer that I might get. And I'm thinking about getting a miniature one just for rendering. So yeah, this is what I've been doing so far, and I've been playing other games and stuff like that. I've been working with community shaders in Skyrim, and they are coming up quite well. We might even pop into there before we move on, actually, that's what we might actually do. Have a quick look into my Skyrim before we move on to Space Engineers 2, which I'm thinking about doing right about now. So I'll be back in a moment. Right. Welcome to my main menu of Skyrim. I've tried to make sure that this has no copyrighted music, hopefully not, and I'm hoping so. So this is what I've been working towards. This is me working. I screwed up my last version, so this is where I'm getting to. We are now getting into me trying to mod my Skyrim to the way I want it to be. Right. This is community shaders. And this is complex parallax. Now, I have not parallax gen the world yet. I'm trying to get the mods in there and then get them looking good. I am unfortunately using, well, it's not unfortunately, until I can work out what I need to move around in Edge UI. But this is just a tester character right now. As you can see, I have SMP, I think it's called. I've just started adding in weapons, If anybody knows this weapon from my Bartholomew campaign, yes, it's this weapon. The oh god, I can't even remember its name now. This is how much I remember it. Sword of the First Ember, which is an older mod than Sword, but I loved it so much, and it fits Skyrim. I don't know why. So if you like this, please tell me. This is my attempt to build on the Skyrim engine, make it look better. And with this new graphics card, I'm running about between 60 and 80 FPS at any one time. So that's awesome. I love that. Oh, the weather here, by the way, is Azerite weathers. I love this weather. But even if I turn off the community shaders, if I turn them off, you can actually see the difference. So if I turn them on, yeah, I'm trying to get a certain specific armor that I added in there yesterday just to see what it had looked like. So yeah, it's a work in progress right now. If everything works right, we'll start adding in Skypatcher stuff. We are going to be going to Requiem, which is a hard bloody mod to run. I will give you that. Yeah, the community shaders version 1.14 as of this moment in time. You got dynamic cube maps, extended materials. Could turn that on, but I don't think that's really helpful. So I'll turn it on or off. It's, as I said, I haven't even parallax gen the entire terrain. So this was a quick show off of what's going on here. And my Skyrim, I am working towards getting this done. I was doing this whilst I was waiting for my graphics card to come in over the weekend. And this is on Mod Organizer 2 now, not Vortex. I found with Vortex I was screwing myself over time and time again. I literally had to spend weeks relearning how to use Mod Organizer 2 again, in a good way. Hopefully I've now got it sorted and I'm now going to get to the next level. But, oh, by the way, that's when clouds go over, you can actually get cloud shadow. If a bird flies over, you get bird shadow. So hopefully, if this looks better, please tell me, because I think it looks 25 times better like this. And I love the look of it. Although part of me did follow a guide up until a certain point. So yeah. See what I mean? Here we go. Cloud is going to go in front of the sun. And we got a cloud shadow. I love it. Still a long way to go until I get that fully finished. Yeah. I've been hard at work trying to get things done. I need to get back to chapter 5 of Bartholomew. I was trying to hold off. Things were happening left, right and centre. So, yeah. Apologies for making you wait on that. I'll try and get back to it starting this week. But moving on to the main event, Space Engineers 2. We're going to have a quick walk into that and see what's going on.